Okay, we're recording. This is kind of different for me. I'm experimenting with some online learning because I teach students out in the woods usually, and now because the virus is going on, schools are being canceled, but they may extend them later in a couple of weeks, but only online. So I was like, oh, I gotta learn how to do this. So I'm gonna experiment with you guys if you don't mind. I'm gonna do a bird call ID, and yeah, I actually, what I'm going to do is I'm using this great site, Cornell Labs. It's a fantastic site for birding. And why birds by call, not by sight? You can do both, but in the field, it's easier to know them by call because it's not that easy to see them at times, right? And why we would do this in the field is that, well, example, the job I would have, I'd go through the woods with a compass heading or GPS heading, and I would just like timber cruising. I would stop every chain, which is 66 feet, or every 20 meters, or every 15 minutes, or whatever. And I would stop and record the bird calls around me, and we do that in the spring. The reason why you do it in the spring is that they're not passing through, they're stopping to nest, and you want to know where they're nesting. So if we go back to the lab and we listen to the recordings and we find that actually there's some endangered species calling out and nesting, then yeah, that's like, we better protect that habitat. It's just really good to know the calls too. Again, it's a lot easier to hear them than to see them. And yeah, fascinating. Okay, so I chose 10 of my favorite spring birds, meaning ones that actually really indicate that something's happening in the spring, okay? And right now the birds are coming out, they're coming back, or if the ones that aren't not migrating are getting more active, creating nesting territory. Wow, oh, too much coffee this morning. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with two of my favorite, the crows and the raven. So if you look at the crow, it is a smaller bird than the raven, the common crow, or American crow, I think, is the common raven. And the raven has a chisel-like beak, a very large beak. Its tail is more chisel-like, more diamond-shaped. The crow has more like a fan. Crows fly in numbers, whereas ravens actually usually in pairs. Ravens are more of a northern Ontario species, and out west, Western Canada, Western United States, where crows are basically everywhere. Yeah, crows do go in groups. A Cree elder once showed me, for some odd reason, this mystic idea that when you see them and you count them flying together, if they're on uneven numbers, like 3, 7, whatever, that's a good day. But if they're on odd numbers, then bad luck will come upon you by the end of the day. I'm not sure why he told me that. They're very intelligent birds. We really had a hard time. In fact, I've never caught one when I was banding birds and studying birds. They're really, really intelligent. I remember one of the fascinating times too, I saw a raven put a stick down an anthill's nest, pulled the stick out and started eating the ants, like really intelligent. And you can teach them to talk and they can communicate with one another by that. Not like a parrot, but you can teach them to talk. The ones we had at the Wildlife Center, I worked at a wildlife center for many years. They would take things like coins and buttons and then store them up in their nest. They really incredible birds. So the call, okay, there's a difference in the call. So if you listen to the crow, the American crow, so caw, 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 caw. That particular call was really interesting to me because I remember I was on a search and rescue group looking for some autistic kids in the woods, and we couldn't find them. Police were involved, and then just before dark, I was looking into the valley and I saw these crows circling and cawing, and they will do that. They'll actually say, "People are here, predators are here," right? So we went in, and there were the kids. It was amazing. So the raven, totally different. Listen. Okay, more throaty, more echoey, totally different than the crow. Okay, next bird, love this bird, the blue jay. And by the way, the blue jay is actually not blue. It's brownish black. It's just the way the sun hits the feathers and reflects, it actually looks blue. Who knew? Who knew? So the blue jay is a mimicking bird as well. They're really notorious for just going above a red-tailed hawk and calling off a red-tailed hawk call. And then all the prey are like, hey, thanks, Blue Jay. Now I know there's a red-tailed hawk, and the red-tailed hawk is really pissed at it. So they're really good for that. You can not teach them how to talk, but like a parrot, but the same as a crow, they can communicate. It's really cool. They're called, whatever we got. They're just a call, says their name. Listen. Jay, Jay, Jay. Cool, eh? Some migrate, some overwinter. Some migrate one winter and not the next. It's all confusing what they do that. But cardinal, northern cardinal, love it. You will be hearing these all over the place right now. This is such a good spring call. So cardinals, yeah, they the female is less red than the male. The male is very vibrant red. Some birds aren't like that, like the blue jay. Both male and female look alike. The red-tailed hawk both look alike. Some studies we had is that the red-tailed hawk was a female red-tailed hawk was a little bit bigger than the male, but sometimes it wasn't. So, but basically, yeah, some birds are different that way. But the cardinal, actually, it doesn't. I don't think it migrates. I think it just hangs around with bird feeders. I don't think it's a migrator. So the call is so distinct. I call it the laser bird. Sounds like a laser going off, or Space Invader game. Remember the Space Invader game? Okay, that's the cardinal. So here's one that everybody thinks the robin is a sure sign of spring when you see the robin. No, they're really dumb birds. They migrate too early and a lot of them die. It's not the truth. You'll see them in early spring, and then there'll be a snowstorm and you'll see mortality. There'll be dead ones frozen. They are in the thrush family, so all thrush birds have a flute-like call. So we listen to the robin, and you'll recognize it because of your backyard. They feed off worms in the backyard. And yes, when they're jumping on the ground, they're actually feeling the vibration of the worm. And they eat a lot of berries right now. What's really cool is they're eating a lot of berries that are fermented through the winter. So when they eat them, they actually get drunk. Watch them. It's hilarious. So listen to the call. Cheery up. Cheery up. Okay, flute-like call. All right. Oh, we're getting them through these. All right. Well, did I tell you there was a test? Now this is the sign of spring. Red-winged blackbird, the male. And I will. Red-winged blackbird. When you see, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Red-winged blackbird. This guy over here. The red-winged blackbird, when you hear the male or see the male in the cattails, if you see him right now, that means spring is here. They are very intelligent birds. They're not coming until spring is actually here. But they really want to get here because they're actually the Casanova of the wetlands. The male will come here first, and the female is not that color. It's not black with a red wing and yellowish band on it. It's actually a brown. It looks like a big sparrow. And the male comes here first and tries to gather as much habitat as possible. They're very defensive. They'll go nuts after another male. And the more habitat they gain by fighting, the more females they'll get. I mean, they are the Casanova of the wetland. They actually are polygamous. They actually will have far more than one mate. In fact, I think from at least a dozen mates. And then they'll fight for that mating all season. Actually, you see them fighting all the time. But listen to their call. Really, really common. This is the male call. Conqueree. Conqueree. Cool. Okay. So that is the Casanova of the wetlands. Another favorite, Black-capped chickadee. So black-capped chickadee, woo, there he is here. Black-capped chickadee, really kind of cool about these guys when we banned them. The nuthatch and the chickadee, and maybe other birds, but I'm not sure, I just know of the two, they function upside down because they feed upside down. So when you get them in the net, you put them upside down to put the band on and find out what they are and stuff like that, or male, female. And you find that out by blowing on their breast, and there's a brood patch, meaning that there's no feathers on the belly, and that's a female, so she can keep the eggs warm. Anyway, I'm blabbing about that stuff. But they can function upside down. Any other bird, like a blue jay or red-tailed hawk or pileated woodpecker, you put them upside down, their brain just goes numb. They're like, oh, and that calms them down, which is really good. But the chickadees will bite the living crap out of you when you get them out of the net. Anyway, black-capped chickadees, they're not polygamous, they're monogamous, but we have had studies done where actually it's kind of odd, or maybe not odd, but the female will actually tell the male to go get food, and then the female will do another call and listen to other males, and if it likes that male, it will call in, have sex with it, and get rid of it before the other male comes back. And we're thinking is, if it's like an island of green, like a park and surrounded by development, and those chickadees can't expand their range, you don't have sex with your kin, right? So they're actually trying to mix up the genetic diversity of that habitat. Anyway, I'm blabbing. But here's the chickadee. Two calls. One is like I think Nelson from The Simpsons. That's what it's doing right now. It's creating a territory for nesting, and it's chickadee dee dee, chickadee dee dee. So that's a territorial call. So that's the call it would be doing now. When it does the chickadee dee 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 call, it's basically talking to all the other birds, and that is its defensive call. So if you hear it really going chickadee dee 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 like that, the more DDs it has, the more predator warning. So all bunch of other songbirds will fly with them just because of that, because they're waiting for the chickadee to tell if there's a predator around. Oh my Lord, I'm going through these. Pileated or pileated, or pileated or pileated. Tomato, tomato. All right. So this guy, huge woodpecker, massive woodpecker. It's about this big, like this big. They're very common. It's just like, everybody's like, well, look at there's a pileated woodpecker, but they're actually very common. They're the ones that rip that tree apart. When they bang it, they actually make rectangular holes and huge holes. And yeah, the call is really cool because this is where Woody Woodpecker, the cartoonist for Woody Woodpecker, got the call from. Okay, so that's a cluck, 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 almost like a laughing, really distinct call. All right, going down the list here. What else we got? Oh my Lord. Okay. Nuthatch. I love this call. I'm gonna do the white-breasted nuthatch. So you look down here, white-breasted nuthatch. You got a whole bunch of. We got the red-breasted here and the white-breasted in Ontario. You're Algonquin. The white-breasted nuthatch, yeah, it does the same thing. It actually hangs around with chickadees for the same reason, for the territorial call. And they feed upside down. They actually stuff food on between bark and then store it for later on. That's kind of cool. But their call is hilarious. To me, it sounds like someone at a party that gets the giggles and just can't stop. Here he is here. Yep, like a high school party. Okay, last bird. I want to put this one on because I think this bird is so fascinating. American bittern, and you rarely see them. They're like a, well, they are a small heron type bird. Here he is here. American bittern. He's about this big, and he'll go into the wetland. And actually, he's so secretive. So what happens is when he thinks you're spotting him, he'll put his head up like this, and you see the marks on his neck. He'll blend in with the cattails, so it looks like a cattail. And when the wind blows the cattails, it will move like this with the wind. Fascinating birds. So really hard to see them, but when we did studies on them, we would just make a call, and the males get really uptight about another male being around, and we would find out where they were just by the call. Thunder pumpers, stake hammers, and this is why. Listen. Hear the other call. Hear it? Sounds like you're banging a stake into the mud. Cool, cool. All right, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have the test now. I think I got them all. Anyway, we'll go with the ones we have. And I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. I'm gonna knock this screen off, and I'm just gonna have myself, and then, how am I gonna do that? Let me see how I'm gonna do this. If I stop share. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay, what I'm gonna do, see if I can go back and forth here to them all. I guess I don't know if you can see me now or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a bird. And then you write down what you think it is, and then we'll take the test up. Okay, so ready for the test? All right, let me get the first one up. So get your pen and paper out, or just your laptop, whatever, doesn't matter. All right, here you go. Bird number one. Congaree. Passing over the wetlands, and this is the male, not the female. All right. Let me see. All right, that was bird number one. Bird number two. Very large woodpecker. What do your woodpeckers came from it? Chirp, 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 chirp. All right. Number three. Let me see. Number three. Hope you're doing well in the test. Hope you're not stressed. Don't be stressed. Don't ever be stressed. All right. Stake driver. Good job. Good job. Okay. Hope you got that one. Number four. This is its territorial call. I think it was Nelson. Simpsons. Its other call, other than this one, is chickadee dee dee dee. Chickadee dee dee dee. I'm freaking my dog out. It's okay, Angel. All right, let's get to number five. Hope you got that one. It was pretty easy one. All right, the party bird. Remember those times in high school? Having your first beer? I mean, college. Yeah, in college when I had my first beer. All right. Well, we're on number 6, right? Okay. So this is either the crow or the raven. So is it croaky or not? Is it echoey or not? So which one is it? So that was either the crow or raven. And this, number 7, is either the crow or the raven. Is it caw, 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 or grope, grope, grope? Which one? Okay. Number 8 in the thrush family has a flute-like call. Gets drunk on dried fruit, and not dried fruit, fermented fruit. Okay. Number 9. Okay, it's saying its name. And last one. It's the Space Invader game bird. Sure sounds like a laser. Okay, let's take them up. You ready? Oh, stressful times. It's marked out of 10. 10 is perfect. 0 is not. All right, number 1 was the red-winged blackbird. It was the male calling for territory. Number 2 was the pileated or pileated woodpecker. Number 3 was American bittern, junk bird. Number 4 was the black-capped chickadee. Number 5 was the white-breasted nuthatch. I'll accept just nuthatch if you just put that, but should have got white-breasted nuthatch. Just saying. Number 6 was the crow, and number 7 was the raven. Number 8 was the robin. Number 9, the blue jay, and number 10, the northern cardinal. All right. Well, add them all up and tell me what you got. So I hope that was good. First time, and I'm gonna try and do some more. We'll do mammal ID, tree ID, and a whole bunch of other things, and hope this works, and hope they actually do go back to school. I hope things don't fall apart like they are in other places. The plan right now, these are dual credit students I teach, so I'm not sure if I explained that, but I'll do it again. But basically, they're high school students that I take to college. So I teach them a college course, so they get 2 credits out of it. So, and it gets them into college. It kind of but to get into post-secondary. And right now, because the coronavirus, they shut the school down, but they're thinking of bringing it back, but only online, so they wouldn't gather. So I just need someone to experiment this on, and it's you. So thanks a lot.